Good morning student, this is Shailesh Kumar and now in this video we are going to revise some concepts of chapter set and fraction. So you can see that basic questions and concepts of these topics will be discussed in this video. I take 10 to 15 sums in this video so that we may revise these both topics in a very short time. So let us start with the video with the commitment that you people will watch the video till end. So let us start. And if you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe our channel Think Math Think Different Zara Hatke. Good morning student. In this video, we are going to revise some basic questions of the chapter set and fractions. So let us start. Now our first question is, let M be the set of even numbers less than 41. Then we have to insert the appropriate symbol belongs to or not belongs to in the blank spaces. So you can see this is the statement given and this is the question part. Okay, now first of all the given part is M, set M is including those members which are even and those are less than 41. So what are the even numbers? Even number are those which are divisible by 2. Okay, so firstly in order to easy the statement and get the information of all the members, I will write this set in the roster form. So what is the set? The name of the set is M. And which type of member will be there? You may say that the first even number is 2, after that 4, then 6, then 8, then 10, after that 12, and 14, 16, 18, 19, oh sorry, not 19 but 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, and after that 32, 34, 36, 38, and 40. Okay, as we have to write only the members which are less than 41, so we will not go further. Okay, so I will close the set here with the bracket. Okay, so you may see that these are the brackets and all the members are being written under the brackets. Now these are the actual members of the set M. Okay student. Now what we have to do in the question part. Now we have to see that 5 fill up M. It means 5 is there in the set. 5 is the member of this set or not. You can clearly see that 5 is not there in this set. So what I will write? I will write that 5 does not belong to M. 5 is not the member of this set. Therefore, 5 does not belong to set M. Does not belong to, what is the symbol of does not belong to? That is this. Okay. So, I will write does not belong to symbol. Okay student. Similarly, you can see 6. 6 belongs to M or not. You can see that 6 is there. Okay. The 6 is the member of this set M. Okay. So which symbol I will choose? I will choose belongs to symbol. Which symbol? Belongs to symbol. Okay. So I will write belongs to now. And next part is 13M. Now you can see that 13 is there in the set or not. 12 after that 14. So 13 is not there because 13 is an odd number. So which symbol you will write? Not belongs to. Simple. After that you can see what is this? This is the fraction. Okay, this is a fraction 4 and 1 by 5. Clearly you can see there is in this set no fraction is there. So what will you write? You will write this symbol that 4 and 1 by 5 doesn't belong to this set M. Okay, so you will write does not belong to. Okay, student. Now we are on the next part, 39. You can see 39 is a odd number, so this is not the member of the set M. You can see you will not find 39 in this set. 38, after 38 there is 40, so 39 is not the member, so you will write does not belong to. Okay, student. Now 41, 41, you can see there 41 is not there in the set. Clear? So 41 is also not the member of the set M. So which symbol we will write? Not belongs to. Now here you can see what is this? This is the decimal number 16.6. In our set you can see all the members are natural numbers. So but this is the decimal number. So clearly this does not belong to our set. So which symbol you will write? Does not belong to. Now students, hope you understand where we have to write the belongs to symbol and where we have to write the does not belong to symbol. Okay, now here minus 39. This is minus 39. All numbers are natural numbers. There is no negative numbers. Okay, so minus 39 also does not belong to M. So in this way you can watch that I have solved the all complete question where I have fill up the space with the appropriate symbol to make the statement true. So student, you can see for 1 minute and take time to understand, and if there is any query then you can send me in the comment section. Now student, our next question is that how many forms are there in which we can represent a set. Now also write their names. Okay, how many forms are there in which we can represent a set? So its answer is 3. There are 3 forms in which we can represent a set. Okay, so the first answer is 3. In 3 forms we can represent a set. So I will write in 3 forms. In 3 forms we can represent a set. Okay student, now the next part is also write their names. Now I have to write the names of these form. So the first and the easiest form is roster form. Okay, so the first form is roster form and its other name is tabular method. Okay, okay student, now the second one is descriptive form and the third one is set builder form and its second name is rule method. So this was my answer. So students, now you come to know how many forms of the set are there? 3, and these are the names of these 3 forms. Now I will give you example so that the concept may be clear to you. For this I will take an example of English alphabets. Okay, English alphabets. From English alphabet, I will choose the vowels. Okay, how many vowels are there in English alphabet? You know, if you have to write those in set roster form, then how will you write those? You will write just like this. Vowels, I will write, take this name, take the name of this set T, and it will be A, E, I, O, U. Okay, student. Now these are the vowels of the English alphabet. So you can see when we have to represent a set in the roster form, then we write all the members in the brackets and separate them by commas. Okay, student. I will write actual member in the set and separate them by commas. Okay, so and also after closing them into the bracket, and I will give them a name of the English alphabet, that will be the capital English letter. Clear, student? Now this is called the roster form or the tabular method. Now descriptive form. Descriptive form is the form in which a sentence is being written that gives us the idea of the common property of all the members. So student, let us see how I will write this set in the descriptive form. Now to write in descriptive form, I will write a sentence that will represent the quality or the property or the characteristic of each member of the set. Okay, so if I have to write the descriptive form to the English vowels, then how will I write that? The set of in vowels, the set of vowels in English alphabet. Now student, we are going to write set builder form. Now set builder form, in this form we will use a variable and that variable represent all the members of the set. Okay, so how we will write this? Please see. Let this is the set T is the set of all vowels. So I will write it. T is a set where a member is X. X is a variable. You can write any other variable also. X is that type of member. So X such that X is a vowel of English alphabet. So this way to represent the set is called the builder form or the rule method. So these are the three basic forms and their explanation. Now the question is, we have to write the set in the roster form. Now you see the first part is the set of vowels in English alphabet. Now the set of vowels in English alphabet are A, E, I, O, U. Okay, so we will have to write in roster form. Therefore, I will name the set, say A, and write the brackets, curly brackets, and mention the members, those are vowels in English alphabet separately by commas. A, E, I, O, U. Okay student, now let me tell you that the name of the set is always written in capital English alphabet and the members are represented in the small English alphabets. Okay student, now you can see this is the roster form. What was the heading? Write the set in the roster form. So in order to write the roster form, you will write the actual members under the brackets and separate them by commas. Okay, in the set all the members are different. Okay. Now the second part is the set of days of the week. Also we have to write in the roster form. So I will give it name D. Name D is the set of the days of the week. So which are the days of the week? The Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday. Okay student. Now we will write the bracket, close the bracket, and we have written all the names of the days separated by the commas. Okay student, this is called the exact roster form, where the members are being written, all the members are different and they are separated by commas include under the brackets. Okay. Now we have to write the set in builder form. Now you can see this set is being given and two names of the days are being given. Now which form is this? This form is roster form because commas are there and both the members are being separated by the commas. So if we have to write in the set builder form, then what we will have to do? We will write just like as I have explained earlier. So firstly I will write this the name of this set. Say I will write its name D. Okay, and write the bracket curl bracket. Okay, now I will journalize this member. Now what is the common property of both these members? Saturday and Sunday, these are the days of the week. Okay, also they are starting with the English alphabet S. Okay, so I can write in the builder form. Firstly, take a variable x. D is set. D is x. X is a form. It means x such that x. This vertical bar is called such that x such that x. What is x? X. It means these members. X is the days. Is a day. Is a day of week. Day of week starting with English alphabet English alphabet S. Okay, this is the common property. So in this way I will write the builder form for the given set whose members are Sunday and Saturday. Okay student, so you can understand how we have write the set builder form. Now we have to write the builder form for January, July and June. Now you can clearly understand that these are the months of the year and all are starting with the English letter J. So in order to write it in builder form, what we will do? I will give it name M. X is a variable. Which type of variable? It means X such that X is a month starting with J. Okay. So this form is called the builder form, and how we have to write? We have shown here. Now student, You can clearly watch these questions. If there is any concept missing at any stage. Student, you can pause this video and watch this work silently, and it will make your understanding better. Now, if you understand each and everything in this video, then don't forget to subscribe our channel Think Math, Think Different Zara Hatke, and also press the bell icon to get the notification of new videos. Student, you can pause your video and can see that all the questions which we have solved in the video. So this is the chance. For that, I have placed the paper on which I have solved all the question for you and give you the appropriate time so that you can watch each and everything carefully. And if there is any doubt, then you can write me in the comment section. Now students, our question is what are finite set and what are infinite set? Now finite set is that set where the counting of the number comes to an end. Okay, in the other words we can say that there are members we can count in the set. Okay, so in opposite sense, if we say what are the infinite set, the infinite set are those set where counting of the members not comes to an end. Now I will give you some example to clear the concept of this definition. Okay student, finite set, which are the members, those can be counted. Okay, but the infinite set are the those set where the members are countless. Okay, just like this you can see the example of finite set. If I take the example of vowels, then this is the countable set. If I take the example of consonant, this is the countable set. Okay, so this is the set A and its member are A, E, I, O, U. Now, how many members are there? Clearly, we can say there are 5 members, 5 distinct members. All the members are different and the counting of the number is 5. Okay. Now, I will give you another example for the infinite set. Now, what are the infinite set? Just like I start from 1 to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Okay, this counting doesn't come to an end because we can't write the largest number. Okay, now what type of this collection of the members will be called? This collection will be called if written under the brackets and doesn't come to an end, it will be example of infinite set. Okay student, now I hope you would understand that what is the finite set and what is the infinite set. Okay, now tell me that 1, 4, 9 and 16. This set is finite or infinite? This set is finite. Okay, so because only 4 members are there, so this is finite set. Okay, now what are infinite set? Say -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, so on, and in this direction also I will write so on. So you can see what type of this set is. This is an infinite set. Okay, infinite set. So student, you can see what are the finite set and what are the infinite set. Now our question is, state which is finite set and which one is infinite set. Okay, you can see the full question. Number of people living in Patiala. Now Patiala, how many people are living in Patiala? So it can be counted or not counted? Clearly it can be counted because after every 10 years there is a census. Census means the counting of the population, how many males, females and the children are there in the country. In the same way, the data is being collected from every city and every village. So Patiala is a city of the Punjab. So we can clearly say that number of the people living in Patiala is a finite set. So student, finite set. Now this is the answer. Now you can see the second example where 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 and so on. Now anywhere when you see this symbol so on, it means the counting is not coming to an end. So you will say that this set is infinite. Okay, so this set is infinite. Infinite set. So this is the answer and the explanation. So student, I will pause this video for 1 minute so that you can watch what we have done. Now, if you understand each and everything, please don't forget to subscribe our channel Think Math Think Different Zara Hatke, and also press the bell icon to get the notification of new uploaded videos. Now we shall go on the next concept of the set, that what is the cardinal number of set. Give example. Now what is the cardinal number of set? You know that in the set there are some members and all the members are different, and what is the counting of those members, that is called the cardinal number of the set. Okay, let us come to an example which we have done earlier. So you can see, if this is the set of vowels in the English alphabet, then how many members are there? Only 5 members are there, and 5 members are all different. So what is the cardinal number of this set? The cardinal number of this set is 5. Okay student? Now let us take another example. The set of the days of the week. We have seen that how many days are there in the week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So how many days are there? Only 7 members are there in this set D. So what is the cardinal number of this set? That will be 7. Okay. So this is the idea of the set, and as per the given that we have to give the example, you can write any example. You can take example of months in the year. Okay, and you can also make the example of your family members. Okay, and write the cardinal numbers. So various example you can make from your surroundings. Now let us go for our questions. Here you will see what is the cardinal number of the set of days of the week. Here we have seen that how many days are there in the week? Only 7. So I will write what is the cardinal number? My cardinal number is 7. Okay student. So I will write the cardinal number of this is 7. Now, how will I represent this 7? In order to write 7, if I will name this set, if the set is A, then the cardinal number of set A is be denoted as mod, like this. Okay. Otherwise, you can also write number of elements in A is 7. So in both ways you can represent the cardinality of a set. So student, I think you would have understand this concept. Now the set of days in a week starting with English alphabet T. So you think that which days are starting with the English alphabet T? Yes, think how many days are there starting with the T? Take your time. Thursday, Tuesday only. Okay, so how many days are there? Only 2 days. These are, therefore the members, if the set is this set name is B, then how many members are there in B? This is 2. Okay, because the members are Tuesday and Thursday. I don't think that I need to make the roster form of this set here, because this can be done orally. Okay, now on the other way of representation of the cardinality, that you will write like this. Okay, so in both way you can represent the cardinality of a set. Now here the next question is letters in the word Patiala. Now here you will see that how many letters are there in the word Patiala. Now firstly I will make it set P A T I A. I will not repeat A. Now L, again A. I will leave A because A has been written earlier. Now how many letters are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is the set T, and the cardinality of the set T is how much? That is 5. So student, you can see that how I have explained the concept of cardinality of a set. So I am pausing this video here so that you may watch all the questions carefully. Dear student, now our question is what is fraction and give example. Now as we know, fraction is the part of a whole. If the whole thing is divided into some equal parts and we choose or take some of the parts from these whole parts, and this concept leads us to the form of fraction. So I will explain this through an activity. You can see there is a paper before you, student. Now this is the complete paper. Okay, now I will divide this into some parts. Now this is the paper. I will fold it. Now how many parts you can see here? You can see that there are two parts of the complete full paper. Okay, now I will again fold this. Now you will see that how many equal parts of that complete paper are here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if there are 4 parts, then we can say that the whole paper can be divided into how many equal parts? 4 parts. So let us proceed further. If I fold it once more, then let us see how many parts we can observe, and all the parts are same or not. Let us see. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the whole paper has been divided into 8 equal parts. Okay student, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 above and 4 below. Okay, now this is the concept of dividing a whole thing into equal parts. Now what happens if I will take 2 parts from these whole 8 parts? Then how will I represent that concept? Okay, so if I take this part and this part from all the whole 8 parts, then what will be the fraction? Then the fraction will be, student, 3 by 8. Okay, now but if I take, you can see that 3 parts I have taken from where? From the all whole 8 parts, and this can be written as 3 by 8. This is the 3 is numerator and 8 is denominator. Okay, now if I take 5 parts, then what will be the fraction? Then this fraction will be 5 by 8. Okay student, now understand the concept of the fraction. Now in this way we have give an example 3 by 8 and 5 by 8. Now fraction is the part of a whole. Now we come to our question. What is a fraction? Fraction is a part of a whole. Fraction is a part of whole. Okay, give example. So for the example, just like this type of example. Now student, let me tell how many type of fractions are there. Now firstly 3 by 8 and 5 by 8. In this type of example, the numerator is smaller than the denominator. So this is called the proper fraction. Sometime we can write this type of fraction where numerator is greater than the denominator. Okay, so you can say this fraction is improper fraction. This is proper. This is improper. And sometime such fractions are written like this also. Now this fraction where there is a complete number, natural number, and one proper fraction. Here you will see 3 is a number and this is improper fraction. So this is called the mixed fraction. So student, you understand what I have explained here? Now, I hope you understand, and if you are getting everything, all concepts are being cleared, then don't forget to subscribe our channel Think Math, Think Different, Zara Hatke. Now student, our next question is write fraction in simplest form. So student, how will you write these given fraction in the simplest form? So in order to find the simplest form, we must find the HCF of numerator and denominator, and that HCF will be find out through the long division method. So I will explain you here what is a long division, and that rule is best for any type of question regarding simplest form. Now 64 over 104. Now 64 104. Now we don't know the table of 64. So 64 multiplied 2, that is 128, and 64 ones are 64. Now 128 is greater than 104. So I will write it 1 and 64 there. Now 0 and 4. Now what is the remainder? That is 40. Now in long division method, I will have to divide the earlier divisor with this new remainder. Now 64. Now 40, what is the table of 40? 41s are 40 and 42s are 80. So I will write only 41s are 40. Okay, so 4 and 2. Now this is 24. Now I will divide this 40 with 24 by 24. Now 24 ones are 24. Again this is 6 and 1 16. Now 24. Now 16 ones are 16. Again 8. Now understand student, now this is the HCF. Okay, the HCF of 64 and 104 is 8. Okay student, now what you have to do? You have to divide both numerator and denominator by 8. Now you divide 8 with 64 with 8. 8 8s are 64. The answer is 8. Now if you divide 104 with 8, now you can see 8 ones are 8, 2, 8 3s are 24. 13. Now the answer is 13. So in this complete process, you come to know what is the long division and how to find the HCF with the long division, and in order to find the simplest form, you have to divide numerator and denominator with the HCF. Okay student, so we got the answer, and I will write this in my question part. You can see I will write here 64 104 divided by 8 and 8. So the answer is 8 by 13. This is the required simplest form. Okay student, now this was the journal method to find the simplest form. Again I will go for the different method that is not different, but you can see if you find it easy. Now the second question is 48 and 52. You can clearly decide that 48 and 52 both are even numbers. So if they are even, it means they are divisible by 2. So if you divide both by 2, now divide both with 2. Now if you divide 42 by 2, 48 by 2, sorry, 2 2s are 4, 2 4s are 8. Now this is 24. The answer is 24. And 52 divided by 2. Now 2 2s are 4, 2 3s are 12. Now this is 23. 52 divided by, yes, okay, 2 6 are 12. So this the answer is 26. Okay student, this is the 26. Now again you can see this is 24, 26. Both are again divisible by 2. So you can divide them by 2. If you divide 24 by 2, then 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. The answer is 12. Here you will write 12. Now 26 divided by 2. 2 1s are 2. And 2 3s are 6. So the answer is 13. Therefore, it is your answer that 12 by 13. So this is the second method you can adopt, which you find easy. Now you can watch this process which I have adopted in the second question. Firstly, I divide 48 and 52 by 2. The answers are 24 and 26. You can see the rough work here. And after that I divide 24 and 26 by 2. Here you can see the rough work is there. Division is there. And the answers are 12 and 13. Now 12 and 13. 13 is a prime number and 12 is an even number. Okay. So these are not divisible. Okay, this is the simplest form. So, if I write 48 over 52, again, it is divisible by 2, that is 24, and it is divisible by 2, 26. Again, this is divisible by 2, that is 12, and it is divisible by 2, that is 13. So the answer is 12 over 13. This is the required simplest form. Now student, our next question is compare the fractions. Which is greater? Here two fractions are given. The simple method to decide which fraction is greater, we have to see if in the case of 2, that 8 by 9 and 18 by 9, you subtract 8 from 9. What is the difference? 8 and 9, that is 1. And what is the difference here? 9. Okay. So where the difference is less, that is greater. Okay student, this is the hint, but I will adopt the detailed method. You got my point? Listen, 8 and 9. 8 is numerator and 9 is denominator. 18 is numerator and 29 is denominator. Okay. Now both are proper fraction. Okay. Now what is the difference between 9 and 8? 1. Okay. And what is the difference between 18 and 29? That is 11. Now whose difference is less? 1 is less. Okay. Where the difference between the numerator and denominator is less and both are the proper fraction, there the fraction which is having less difference, that is greater. Okay, 8 by 9 will be greater. This is the visual approximation of the comparison of fractions. Now let us check, is it true or not? Now I am going to explain the method. Firstly, you will write all the fractions. It means 2 fractions. After that, you will make the cross. It means you have to apply the cross multiplication. You will multiply 8 by 29 and 18 by 9. Let us see whose answer is more. Now 8 9s are 72 and 7 is carry. 8 to the 16, 16 plus 7, that is 23. 232 is there. Now 18 9s are 9 8s are 72 and 7 162. Now you can see that which value is greater? 232 is greater, and 232 answer is supporting which side? That is supporting 8 by 9. Okay student, therefore you can see 8 by 9 is greater than 18 by 29. So I can write 8 by 9 is greater than 18 by 29. So student, this was a complete method, and earlier I have explained you the shortcut method also. Now you can see here 7 and 9. What is the difference? 2. And what is the difference here? 4. Now let us check. 9, 7 by 9, 6 by 10. So let us cross multiply them. 7 multiply 10 and 9 multiply 6, 54 and 70. Which one is greater? 70 is greater. So you can see what I have told you, that in that case how you can judge which fraction is greater. Okay, so 7 by 9 and 6 by 10, which one is greater? 7 by 9 is greater. So student, I have explained you the concept of comparison of fraction, that is which is greater. So you can see this complete work, and you can pause that video to understand each concept. Now student, if you feel that you have understood each and everything in this video, then don't forget to subscribe our channel Think Math, Think Different Zara Hatke, and also share this channel to all of your friends and students.